Coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where we are, there's nothing to worry about. No, those drones flying over New Jersey and New York, and now they saw some in California, and they're seeing them in different places around the country. There's nothing to worry about. That's just a normal, regular old, who knows? And that's what this guy says, and we'll show you in a minute. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on, man. And some breaking news. There's been a attempted copycat attempt on another healthcare CEO. Remember the other day I said, you know what? This is not about the CEOs, though. This is about pushing copycats, pushing, the dog whistle thing. And I'm not hearing the dog whistle because I'm the dog. I'm just saying this is this thing with this kid. I don't believe that this was just something they planned out. I think they want to. I think they want to plan something. And this is a great way to plan it, because then if the person that you really want done is done by us in a copycat sort of way, you can say, oh my gosh, this was just a copycat. This is nothing. In fact, they don't have to do that. They can actually have their own people do something and just say, oh no, it was just a copycat. There's just a copycat, and it's just going to be an epidemic of violence. And then they can kill two birds with one stone by. Then they can come and take your guns or some shit. Anyway, how y'all doing? Happy Friday the 13th, 2024. On the Morning Night Live, I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. I've already said that, but I'm going to say it again because, I'm repetitive. Let's get the hellos and good mornings and stuff out of the way so we can get this thing started. Let's get it started. First in the chat today, of course, is our good friend Avocados Diablo. Everything's back right in the world. Because, it just doesn't seem right when it's not ED. Now, I can't see who the second person is because I got it covered up with some stuff over there on the top, and this won't let me scroll down past it. But I do see that Funky Friday. Yeah, it's Funky Friday. Our good friend and honorable mention, favorite Canadian Special Can Acids here. Good morning. Also, Mike Savage, Blarg. Kara Soldiers in the house. Boneheaded Dumbass is here. Good morning. What else? Don Julio, Commandant of Trash. Hello. Somnambule Nation. K-Shaw, Rockhopper. Oh, my goodness. Must be bright and early up there in Australia. Also, good morning to Lord Stanhope. Nomads in the house. Hello also to Tyler F. Play Trucker Zach. Good morning, Mr. Osborne. Attack Alpacas in the house. I'm scrolling as fast as as slowly as I can, just that I can read this stuff because, I'm old and my eyes are kind of touchy. Midnight in Exile's here bright and early. Good morning. I can start the show. Thank you. I'm glad he dropped in. How long have those drones been flying? Good question. Because they need power more than a couple hours. No, they got to land somewhere. I don't believe these people. Let's see. Who else is here? Internet favorite lunatic. Good morning, lunatic. And let's see if I missed anybody. John Arnott's in the house. And that looks like about everybody so far. Make sure you hit the like button, share the stream, hit that, drop a let's go. In fact, if you haven't shared the stream yet, drop a let's go in the whatchamacallit. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's see if anyone done it already. There's got to be somebody. Yes, Somnambule Nation has one here. Oh, what is that? Is that the dude who played Better Call Saul? Here's Somnambule Nation's got a Let's Go up there. That's a good one. Also, thank you for tweeting out the show, as you always do. Thank you also, Man Squatch and Somnambule Nation, for retweeting my tweet of the show. And somebody else, is it? You retweeted Somnambule Nation. Well, y'all are all over the place. Well, there you go. Thank you for doing that. I hope everyone else considers doing that. That really helps. We get a new person here every once in a while, and that's always a good thing. So there you go. All right, I liked those. Let's hurry. Let's go ahead and get into it, because I'm a little late and I want to get a lot of this stuff in. As I mentioned earlier, today is Friday the 13th, and that is our special day. I didn't even look up if there are any holidays today, although I do have a Saints Day. It's always a Saints Day. But anyway, in honor of the Friday the 13th, we got this one. That's kind of funny. Happy the Friday the 13th, everybody, as he dances around and kills everybody. Let's see. Happy Friday. Oh, wait a minute. Someone says Happy Friday the 13th, MAGA. Never forget, the same people saying Trump is unfit for office are the same people who said Biden was sharp as a tack. Everything you've seen and everything you've seen with your own eyes is just a cheap fake. It's not real. It's only good. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, it's National Ice Cream Day. Oh, Lord. Oh, wait, hold up. Hey, let's find a National Ice Cream Day thing to put up here. Let's see. National Ice Cream Day. Okay, we'll drop this up in the Friday the 13th. Yes, it is National Ice Cream Day. Let's put some of that on the board, except I got to be careful. You never know what people are going to put up when you put up ice cream. Oh, my goodness. Let's put this up on the board. It's National Ice Cream Day. Yes. Let's see. Well, I don't know what that is. It's Ice Cream Day, National Ice Cream. Okay, and there we go. There he is, Joe Biden, enjoying some ice cream. That's, if pretty soon he'll just be in the old rocker, and mommy will bring him some ice cream. I guess that's it. There's no one has any words of wisdom for National Ice Cream Day. I got an idea. Here's an idea for the chat. While you're thinking about it, National Ice Cream Day. Do me a favor. Drop your favorite flavor of ice cream in the chat. And I don't know if I have one. I know what Lady Boomers is. Lady Boomers is maple nut. So I'll put maple nut. Maple nut in the chat. Maple nut. There you go. All right, that's Lady Boomers. Anyway, happy National Ice Cream Day. Far out. Also, we got some celebrity Oh, wait a minute. Oh, and also, it is Red Friday, and I have more maroonish red. I always forget to wear red. I always change when I leave here. Red Friday. Remember everyone who's deployed. That's a thing that they've been doing. So, happy Red Friday. Also, we have some celebrity birthdays. We got a couple of them. First, wait again. I almost messed up. Good morning, unacceptable views. Blah blah blah. Unacceptable views. My other favorite Canadian. I have my mom's ice cream maker, and I remember when she made huckleberry ice cream. Oh wow, that's interesting. I've had huckleberry jam, but not huckleberry ice cream. Oh, butter pecan. I love me some butter pecan too. That's a really great flavor. My dad growing up, he loved butter brickle. And I'm not sure, a little toffee and a little bit of caramel in there. Cookies and cream or mint chocolate chip, those are good too. Butter pecan, Blue Bunny brand vanilla or lemon sorbet. Oh, that's good. I like, lemon sorbet is good on a hot summer day. Let's see. Anyone else dropping in there? Good morning, Amazing Disgrace is in the house. All right. Well, I can do the birthdays. I can do the birthdays first because I started to do birthdays and then I was going to change my mind because I had this in the wrong order. But celebrity birthdays day. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is Tay-Tay's birthday. It's Taylor Swift's birthday. She's 35 years old today. Still unmarried, childless, but whatever. And I'm in the category of who gives a fuck? I don't care. But some more important birthdays than Tay-Tay's. Sorry, Taylor Swift fans, if you saw that me in the trending topics because it's Tay-Tay's birthday, I don't care. I don't care. And look, by the way, I don't dislike Taylor Swift. I don't like Taylor Swift. I just don't really have anything for or against Taylor Swift. I mean, I know she's a big Democrat, blah, blah, blah. Don't care about her politics. Don't care about her songs. I think she's just a very... she writes songs that girls like, great. I think she's the most basic... Okay, I'm not even going to go there. She's a very basic as far as I'm concerned, but she's a talented writer and all that stuff, so whatever. All right, moving on. But the more important birthday today is Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi, character actor extraordinaire with the wayward eye, is 67 years old today. And he's been everywhere. He does a lot of Adam Sandler movies, but he also has been in some really good stuff. He was in wasn't he in the Sopranos? He's been in a lot of movies. I mean, tons of movies. And for the longest time, I didn't know what the hell his name was. And I didn't learn his name until he started doing the Adam Sandler movies. I don't know why, but he's been in so many movies. So happy birthday, 67th birthday to Steve Buscemi. And then finally, someone mentioned in the chat, but I was already prepared for this one. It's also Dick Van Dyke's birthday. Dick Van Dyke is 99 years old today. This is This is Dick Van Dyke singing "Chitty Chitty Bang Bang" in a local diner. It says it'll vastly improve your days. Well, let's watch Dick Van Dyke sing "Chitty Chitty Bang Bang" in a local cafe.
Chitty bang bang, we love you, and chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. What we'll do near, far, in a motor car, oh, what happy time we'll spend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, I'll find my friend, my friend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, I'll find my friend, my friend. You're sleek as a thoroughbred, your seats are a feather. We'll show everybody's head today. We'll glide in our motor trip. We'll glide in our...
All right, so there you go. It's in the links. Now, my question is, some of you may be too young to know what that is. I remember when I was a kid, that was one of those things you anticipated every year. They would put Chitty Chitty Bang Bang on TV, and my family would watch it every year. And I don't remember what time of year it would come out. But here's the question I have for the chat. Okay. Good morning, Shrapnel, by the way. If you know what Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is, put a C in the chat. If you know what Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is, drop a C, the letter C, in the chat. That's all I'm asking. Wait a minute. Special K, have you seen the movie with Steve Buscemi and Joe Strummer? You mean from The Clash? Is that what you mean? I don't know. Oh, that's whatever. So yeah, if you know what Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is, put a C in the chat, because I'm sure that just tells me that you're as closer to be as old as me. I don't think they do. Does anyone watch that anymore? I don't know if anyone watches that anymore. C. Somewhere beyond the sea. That's not the sea I was talking about, but that's okay, because I can read, and it looks like a C. You are failing. Okay. All right. So there you go. That's the celebrity birthdays for today. Was that on the screen when I did that or not? Did I even have that on the screen? Yeah, I did. I had it in full screen. All right. All right, moving on. And then also, of course, it is a Catholic feast day, because it seems like there's one almost every day. Today is the Catholic feast of Saint Lucy. And here it is. Saint Lucy is the feast. Well, today is the feast day of Saint Lucy, patron saint of eyesight, problems, blessings of miracles of healing. Why is my eyesight's fucked up now? And restoration of sight. Lucy, from the Latin luz, means light, light of faith, can extinguish darkness. St. Lucy lived in the 4th century, born in Syracuse, and raised a Christian. I have a weird thing going on here. There. Okay. Lucy lived in the 4th century, born in Syracuse, raised a Christian. She often gave her possessions to the poor, despite the sharp persecution of the what? Diana? Okay, now I'm having problems with my eyesight. I shouldn't have even talked about Lucy. Anyway, when the persecution of the Diocletian's reign, when she resisted the advances of a Roman soldier, she was arrested and martyred. She is one of the early Christian saints and is honored in various prayers, antiphons, and poems of the day. So anyway, she's the patron saint of the blind, which I'm becoming blind with all these lights in here. Anyway, so there you go. Happy Feast of St. Lucy to all you Catholics. And also, wait, there's also something else. I saw something, I guess in Sweden. Here it is. It's also, well, I don't know if it's the same thing. St. Lucia's Day, in December 13th, Swedes celebrate the ancient festival of light. Oh, okay, so basically, yes, it's light too. It is rooted in Scandinavian culture, but honors St. Lucy. Okay, so it is the same, the honor of St. Lucy. So anyway, so happy St. Lucy's Day. And if you're Swedish, wear a ring of candles around your head. Let's see, let's move on. Also, just entertainment news. Tonight is the finale of Blue Bloods. Now, I've watched a few episodes of Blue Bloods when it first came out, and I thought it was a pretty good show, but I didn't realize it was still on, first of all. Tom Selleck, did we mention Tom Selleck yesterday? Or we didn't talk about that. They had, because they were celebrating Tom Selleck yesterday for some reason, and they had the beginning of the first episode of Magnum P.I. on. And I remember watching Magnum P.I. when I was younger. But anyway, tonight is the very last episode of Blue Bloods, and I haven't watched an episode of Blue Bloods in years. But Donnie Wahlberg, who else? I just said his name, damn it. Anyway, I can't remember who's other than Tom Selleck and Donnie Wahlberg. I can't remember who else is in it. So anyway, all right, there you go. So if you're a fan of Blue Bloods, tonight is the very last episode. I think it's been on for like 14, 15 years. I can't remember how many seasons it's been, but yeah, they retired his jogging shorts. Oh, did they? Is that what it was? Is that why they were celebrating Tom Selleck yesterday? Well, that's kind of funny. Okay. Oh, by the way, it is $5 Friday. If you're going to drop a 5-spot in the chips today to keep the lights on, that would be fantastic. I'm going to pin the donation alert one though, because it gives you some choices and whatever. We'll pin this one. You can sponsor the show at pdognight.live. Oh wait, why is that not? Oh, that doesn't have the link. Let's unpin that. We're not doing that one. There's the link if you want to do Streamlabs. Otherwise, you can use YouTube Super Chats to donate to the show. There you go. Alrighty then. Moving on. I got a couple clips that I'm going to do early, and one of them is related to this, the CEO killer. That look. I'm in the category of, regardless what you think of America's healthcare system and CEOs of healthcare companies, I'm in the category of FTG, fuck that guy who shot someone in cold blood. But for some reason, not everybody can get that, can wrap that around their head. And as I said yesterday, everything's just too neat on this one. That they found him, they got, someone at McDonald's saw him and he's still carrying all the shit that he used to kill the guy. You'd think if you murder someone in cold blood and you're driving from New York to Altoona, Pennsylvania, somewhere along the way, you would dump the evidence and not want to get caught. But maybe he wanted to, I don't know what's going on. It just seems all too easy and it's just too neat. You know what I mean? So anyway, on The View yesterday, well, I just play this clip because the same idea was spoken by one of the ladies of The View. So here's I think Sunny Hostin's talking about it. Here are the ladies of The View are talking about this shit, right? Well, before I go, let's say, Reaction Puerto Rico's in the house, who's dropping a 5 spot via YouTube Super Chat, who says, Buscemi was an NYPD firefighter prior to becoming an actor. On 9/11, he showed up at World Trade and worked 12-hour shifts for several days searching for survivors. I did not know that. Wow. I did not know that he did that. That is really cool. That's a cool story. Yeah, you know what? And I know he's, all those guys that hang around with Adam Sandler, just if you watch interviews of them, they seem to be just good, down-to-earth guys who just like what they do and they have fun and don't take themselves too seriously. Thank you, Reaction Puerto Rico. All right, here's this thing on The View about the killer shitbag guy who everyone's fawning over.
Now, statements
wait, hold
specifically
on. Let Sonny get in here.
I mean, I agree with mostly everything that's been said.
By the way, and these dummies too, same thing. A couple of them are like, well, yes, killing is wrong, but there's no. People who murdered people in cold blood are not good at all, period, end of story. I don't care what you think of people, but you know what? Again, I personally think that this whole thing is set up for a purpose down the road. And I'm hoping that isn't true. I'm hoping, I would like to be wrong, but anyway, let me let this hag talk.
I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband.
Again, by making this argument, you're justifying this asshole. Just remember that, Sonny. Because guess what? Your husband's a great surgeon. What if someone decides, well, he botched a surgery, and decides that he should take it out on your husband? You know what? This can be applied to so many things, and if you can justify one, you can justify another one. Y'all gotta be careful with this talk.
Operates on someone even though they don't have insurance, and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do. So there are a lot of problems with it. But the notion that we are in a violent country, this country was built on violence.
See, so it's okay because it's built on violence. Everyone should expect violence. Yeah, every country was built on violence. You can name a country that didn't deal with violence at some point. Whatever.
We're a very violent country, and it's just undeniable that that's the case. And so
so we should control. This would be a good idea to have some laws passed, right?
Not, unfortunately, surprised that people are celebrating the use of violence. I'm not surprised that this young man thought that change could be accomplished through violence. 1 in 4 Americans say violence against government sometimes is justified. And today,
okay, I'm gonna play that back because I talked over it.
Thought that change could be accomplished through violence. 1 in 4 Americans say violence against government sometimes is justified. And today, in 2024, 1 in 10 Americans.
Catch that? She mentioned violence against government can sometimes be justified. Huh? I wonder who that might be hinting at.
Say violence is justified right now against corporations and government.
That's very
those are just.
And even though I don't think he.
And that's the message. That's the message from the shitbag, And so, and remember, there's a tangential relationship between the shooter and Nancy Pelosi. Huh? I wonder who they might want to commit violence against. Hello, Linda Hunter. How you doing?
Might change something. He might have laid out a plan for a copycat.
There he goes. Did you hear that? Now, that's the line I wanted you to hear in all this, though. The response by, I don't know this other hoe's name, but that response. Listen to what she just said. Because I think that's the purpose of this. It's not, remember, this wasn't even the CEO of the company that he was having fights with over coverage for his back. This is a completely different company. But listen to that line again.
Right now against corporations and government.
That's very
those are just.
And even though I don't think he might change something, he might have laid out a plan for a copycat. That's what I see.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of copycats, Florida woman arrested after allegedly threatening copycat crime against Blue Shield Insurance. A woman in Florida has been arrested after she allegedly threatened the health insurance company Blue Shield with a copycat crime following the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The woman, 42-year-old Brianna Boston of Lakeland, allegedly called Blue Cross Blue Shield in response to a recent medical claim being denied and issued a threat echoing the United Healthcare CEO's killer's words. Delay, deny, depose. You people are next, she allegedly said to the company over the phone. The words delay, deny, depose were written on the bullet casings used to kill United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Or maybe they just were there. He had him, dropped him on the ground. You know, I suppose they could figure out ballistically if they were used or not. When police arrived at Boston's home to question her about the phone call, she allegedly told them that healthcare companies played games and deserved karma from the world because they are evil. She told the police she owned no firearms and had no intention of hurting anyone, which the police did not believe, per the New York Post. But police said the angry mom intended to threaten the company by purposely invoking the phrase strikingly similar to the one Luigi Mangione allegedly scrawled on bullets he's accused of shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson with. Mangione, who's facing murder charge for the slaying, allegedly wrote, deny, defend, and depose on ammunition recovered at the scene. So anyway, we're already, and there's so many fucking people praising this motherfucker, or just saying, "Oh well, he got what he deserved." No. Nobody deserves to be shot down like a dog in the streets. You know, I was gonna make a Christy Nome joke, but I forgot to do that. But anyway. No one deserves to be shot down like Christy Nome's dog. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, so yeah, this is dumb. This is dumb. And you want to go down this path? There's a lot of people who are disgruntled with people in the world, and are we going to just start having an epidemic of these things? I don't want a copycat. I don't want anyone doing this, but I'm telling you, the dog whistles are whistling like a motherfucker right now, and I don't like it. Now, also there's an update on the woman who worked for McDonald's, or a McDonald's, that, and I loathe to put this on here because they use the woman's name, but it's already out there apparently. But here's an update on the person who turned the jackhole in.
So just to update you guys, the name has been released of the Luigi Mangione tipster, and a little sad story for you. So her name is...
I'm going to skip the name. I don't think it's important that I put her name out there at all, because I just...
And she admitted on TikTok that yes, she did report it. She had hoped to get the $6,000 reward, but she is being denied, ironically, for that because she called into 911 rather than the tip line, and so...
that's silly. She clearly is the one who got this guy turned in. I think they should still give her the reward, but that's not it. That's not all. So she gets fired from McDonald's.
So she's not getting the reward. She also got fired from her job and was expecting to get Employee of the Month, but obviously lost that opportunity. Also, in regards to all of that, so this McDonald's averages about 1 review a month, and they've had over 100 negative reviews since this tipster broke, and mostly for there being rats at their location.
Yeah, there's been a whole bunch of people out there saying, "Oh, that she shouldn't have done it. She's a snitch. She's this and that." No, he murdered someone in cold blood. If you see something, say something. That's just so fucking stupid. Anyway, let's see. Also yesterday, this is hilarious. We Time Person of the Year, Donald John Trump, right? Well, Don Lemon is upset about this. Don Lemon's upset that Donald Trump was Person of the Year. Did I say that right? Time Person of the Year. Now, remember, by the way, and I keep making this point because I keep seeing people talk about, like, someone was talking about Caitlin Clark. They Time named Caitlin Clark the athlete of the year, and some people are saying, oh no, there are better athletes out there. There's people who did bigger things. There's this person did this and this person did that. Let's remind everybody that when Time does their people of the year, it doesn't mean they're the greatest person or the top person of the year, the most important person of the year, or the best. And same with their athlete. It's not the best athlete. It's the biggest newsmaker of the year. So that's why when Time had Adolf Hitler as the newsmaker of the year in 1939, it wasn't because they thought he was a good guy. It's just that he was the biggest thing in the news in that year. And so Donald Trump, clearly, biggest political comeback in history, probably. I mean, just that if you think about everything he's gone through, to be reelected president of the United States again, that's definitely the biggest newsmaker of the year. There's nothing that compares. Okay, nothing compares to it. So anyway, but Don Lemon is upset.
Now, if they wanted to make someone person of the year, they would have made someone who, and my God, I'm sure he loves this, right? If they wanted to make someone person of the year, I don't know, they could have done it with any person. They could have done it to someone who actually stood for democracy.
Don, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say it again. The person of the year isn't the person you like the most necessarily, although I like him. I'm glad he's going to be the president again. I voted for him. But the person of the year and Time Magazine is not about the greatest person, this is that. It's the biggest newsmaker person of the year. Get that through your thick, bony head.
Who stands for democracy in the country. Now, you think about what encompasses person of the year.
What, Don?
Just because you are elected president of the United States does not mean that you should be person of the year. What Time Magazine, what are you doing?
He's the biggest newsmaker of the year, Don. You are a news person in theory. At least I thought you were a journalist, but I don't know what the hell you really are. You're an activist with a microphone. Probably should understand that Time Person of the Year doesn't mean it's not Person of the Year. And that year but look, remember a few years ago, Time for Person of the Year, they said it was you, like everybody. I guess that was during COVID. I don't remember that. Taylor Swift, was it last year? I mean, it's not just someone who's a big newsmaker. Don.
Let me ask you, Time Magazine.
Let me ask you, Don.
What do you say to the women who, I guess, still read Time Magazine?
What do you say? Who gives a shit, Don? Was Donald Trump one of the biggest newsmakers in 2024? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Or the women who don't they do like a whole Time 100 thing or something, which, what about the women who are on that list?
What about them?
I'm sure some of them will had dealt with issues that women have to deal with, like discrimination in the workplace, SA.
So Don, please name one who was a bigger newsmaker than Donald Trump in 2024. Name one.
All kinds of things. You have someone.
AD, that's terrible. Women can read? That's wrong. That is so wrong. Hello, Green Badger Outdoors. Democracy will envy all, counted with all, endeavor to pull down all, and when by chance it happens to get the upper hand for a short time, it will be revenged, bloody, and cruel. John Adams. That's a great quote. I like that.
On the cover of your magazine, who is an adjudicated assaulter.
By the way, I'm gonna let him finish this sentence because I've heard this already.
You have someone who inspired an insurrection. You have some.
Let me start with the adjudicated assaulter. Because it's so funny. I keep hearing people say, oh, he's an adjudicated rapist. Don Lemon is even more careful because remember he's not an adjudicated rapist. He's not an adjudicated sexual assaulter. Well, no, he's not, Don. Not in that, because there still has been no criminal trial for any of those things, and they would fail miserably if it went to a criminal trial. It was a civil suit for libel. The only thing he was adjudicated for was for libel, and and in fact, they never even checked the box about the R word, but the fact that they got a guilty or a civil judgment in a case, that's not being adjudicated for a crime. So that's wrong. But the reason they have to say that, because they know that they can get sued if they say the other word. If they just say the other word with no adjudicated in front of it. And in fact, even saying you're adjudicated, no, you're not, because you're not convicted of a crime. And the story's bullshit. Go read the story in Vanity Fair, Don. It's a bullshit story. Even a gay man should be able to figure out why if you read the story carefully. But anyway.
Someone who, without a doubt...
Oh, and by the way, did he say inspired an insurrection? Because notice he changed, what did he say?
You have someone who inspired an insurrection. You have someone...
No, he didn't inspire insurrection, because there was no insurrection, Don. Just because the media put certain aspects of the riot on loop, it was not an insurrection. It was not an attempt to take over the United States government. It was not any form of civil war. It was an unarmed riot outside, and the people who went inside pretty much were pretty orderly. If you watch more than just the loop of footage of people fighting with police after they were flashbanged and being beaten with batons. Okay, Don, it was not an insurrection by any stretch of the imagination. But they keep calling it that for a very specific reason. Because then what you're attempting to do is to invoke the insurrection clause of the 14th Amendment to try to make it so Donald Trump can't be president again. There was no insurrection. And he didn't inspire an insurrection. The violence came after the police assaulted the protesters.
Who, without a doubt, the evidence is there, tried to overturn a free and fair election.
Through legal means, and once he failed, there was a peaceful transfer of power.
You had someone who had multiple criminal counts and found guilty on multiple criminal counts.
Bullshit charges. In fact, the 34 felonies that they had to, well, first of all, it was one charge that they multiplied by 34 by making each signature a separate charge. So that's bullshit. And the reason they did that is so they could say, oh, he's been convicted of 34 felonies. It was all the same charge. And each check became a separate felony, which they wanted to stack the verdict. Okay? And they took a very novel loophole way to get around to that, which was complete bullshit and will never survive the appeals process if it ever goes through. But right now, the charges have been dropped, so there is no 34 felonies. Oh, no, not that one. What's the other one? Yeah, it's been dismissed. So, oh no, that's the New York case. The New York case, the federal cases have been dismissed. The New York case is still there. And in fact, they're going to try to still do sentencing, or that's what Bragg wants to do. But that's never, ever, there's no chance in hell that case will survive the appeals process, especially since there's a Supreme Court ruling on some limited presidential immunity, which they used witnesses from the president's office. Which that's another reason why that appeal will never continue. So anyway. Come on, Don, what else you got? Bitch.
And you name them person of the year? Is this a joke? Did we get something wrong? Did someone scam us?
Don, again, even if all those things were accepted, which those things are all in the article. If you read the article, Don, It's the person of the year is the newsmaker of the year, Don. I can't believe you don't understand this. If you looked at some of the people who've been person of the year on Time Magazine, there's really bad people that have been person of the year because they were the biggest newsmaker of that year.
Are we sure about this, producers?
Are you stupid, Don? Yes.
There is a convicted felon on the cover of Time Magazine as the person of the year. Maybe we're being scammed.
Maybe you're just
Did
stupid.
someone put out a fake tweet or something about this?
Maybe you're just a moron. How about that, Don? Maybe you're just a fucking moron. That's probably good. That's probably it.
Gotcha, bitch.
So anyway, thank you, Don Lemon, for your contribution to the stupidity that tells us why you probably aren't. Yeah. And so, oh, by the way, under this, people are asking questions. For example, someone here says, question, why did Obama win the Nobel Peace Prize again? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Oh, there are 2 winners this year. Okay. Let's see. Oh, good God. Oh, oh no, did somebody do one of these to him? All right, anyway, that'll be the links today. Let's move on. And then other news, how many of you remember the name Crystal Magnum? Crystal Magnum. Does that name ring a bell? Anybody? Crystal Magnum. Now, even if you don't know that name, you know. It sounds like a stripper name, doesn't it? Crystal Magnum? That sounds like a stripper name or a porn star name or something like that, right? Well, there's an update in the story of Crystal Magnum. Crystal Magnum is the stripper who claimed that she was forcefully sexually handled by a bunch of Duke lacrosse players. Remember the Duke lacrosse case? Well, Crystal Magnum, former stripper, convicted killer, finally confesses to lying about being raped by the Duke lacrosse players in 2006. This is 18 years later. She is confessing. Former stripper and convicted murderer Crystal Magnum admitted to Thursday that she lied and made up a story that 3 Duke University lacrosse players raped her at a team party in 2006. Quote, they trusted me that I wouldn't betray their trust, and I testified falsely against them by saying that they did that thing to me when they didn't, and that was wrong, Magnum told the independent media outlet Let's Talk with Kat at the North Carolina Correctional Institution for Women. I made up a story that wasn't true. Color me shocked. Color me stunned. What? You mean that story wasn't true? Magnum 46 said she made up the allegations because she wanted validation from people and not from God. The exotic dancer, who is in prison for a second-degree murder of her boyfriend in 2013, asked former players David Evans, Colin Finney, and Reed Seligman for forgiveness. Yeah, after you fucked up their lives, I hope that they can forgive me, she said, referring to the men as her brothers in a biblical sense. And I don't want to know anything about you in a biblical sense. I want them to know that I love them and they don't deserve that, and I hope that they can forgive me. Magna had never publicly stated that she fabricated the rape allegation before Thursday's revelation. She can no longer be prosecuted for lying under oath since the statute of limitations on perjury charges under North Carolina law is 2 years. Magnum's shocking admission comes nearly 2 decades after she accused the lacrosse players of raping her while she was performing at a team party in March 2006. Evans, Finney, and Seligman were arrested following the allegations. The case garnered national attention, and tension was fueled when former Durham County District Attorney Mike Nifong said in a March 2006 interview with CBS News that there's no doubt a sexual assault took place and that the assault was racially motivated. See, this turned into one of those cases back then. Quote, the circumstances of the rape indicated deep racial motivation for some of the things that were done. It makes a crime that by its nature is one of the most offensive and invasive, even more so, said Nifong, who served as the lead prosecutor of the case. Nifong initially said that DNA would prove the player's innocence, What? Please, wait. Nifong was the. I thought he was the prosecuting attorney. Yeah. Okay. Indicated. Oh, I see. Nifong initially said that DNA would prove the player's innocence, but reversed his statement when the test returned negative. Remember, didn't Duke suspend their entire lacrosse team that year too? Former Duke University President Richard Broadhead also took action against the team following the accusations. Broadhead accepted then head men's lacrosse coach Mike Pressler's resignation, canceled the remainder of the season, and suspended the 3 players from school after they were indicted for rape, despite asking the public not to prejudge the criminal case, NPR reported in 2007. The 3 players were ultimately found innocent of the crimes, and the charges were dismissed in April 2007. And there were major protests. Former State Attorney General Roy Cooper, currently the state's governor, did not prosecute Magnum for perjury after the case was dismissed due to concerns over her mental health. The North Carolina State Bar disbarred Nifong in June 2007 for lying in court and withholding DNA evidence that would have helped absolve the defendants. So they had the DNA evidence, and which was what do you call it? What's the word? Exculpatory. Exculpatory evidence. Broadhead's response to the matter came under scrutiny after the rape allegations were dropped, and he provided a statement soon after. The fact is that we did not get it right, causing the families to feel abandoned when they most needed support, he wrote in 2007. This was a mistake I take responsibility for, and I apologize. So Evans, Finnerty, and Seligman sued Broadhead and the university after their case was dismissed and settled for an undisclosed amount. They alleged that Broadhead repeatedly made false statements and conspired to provide them of their right to a fair trial. Evans graduated in 2006, while Seligman transferred to Brown University and Finnerty to Loyola University of Maryland. So she finally is admitting that she lied her ass off. You lied your ass off. FTG. It's a little late for FTG, but there it is. All right, let me get through this rest of this because there's a few more things, and then I'm going to get out of here. And obviously, Friday Q&A is included. Easy. I didn't forget. Not forgetting. Whoopi Goldberg, speaking of The View, by the way, which we've already seen in one clip, Whoopi Goldberg is training for a couple other clips, and we're going to watch those. First of all, I want you to listen to this because this is... clearly, Whoopi Goldberg does not understand how insurance works.
There are things we can fool with and things we can't. Healthcare is one of those things that you shouldn't be able to fool with. And insurance companies who you pay, I pay into my insurance, you pay into your insurance. I don't understand. If I don't go to the hospital for a whole year, where's my money? Why don't you give me the money back? Then you don't have to worry about it. Because I feel like...
Now notice. Notice nobody in the audience clapped for that. Because I'm pretty sure, in fact, even these ladies are kind of looking at her like, huh? Insurance is not a savings account, honey. By the way, good morning, Select Boy. Yeah, boy. She obviously doesn't understand how insurance works.
You know, I said this, okay.
We got Bill coming on.
I know we got Bill coming, but...
So she doesn't know how insurance works, okay? So there's one part. And then also, this is fascinating. So they were talking about RFK Jr. and how he wants to make food healthier again. And you just got to hear this. You just got to hear this of why she's critical of this.
You know, this isn't just about food.
No, it's not.
This is sometimes people are born genetically larger.
Agreed. I didn't mean to
No,
cut that
I know
out.
you didn't.
Yeah.
But I want to say
What?
this to
RFK?
That's his name.
What?
Because
What? Wait. Listen. Listen to this.
Because you're setting folks up for shame.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying. Maybe you don't know you're doing. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say you don't know, you don't realize what you do to people when you say stuff like that, because it doesn't work for everybody. And I'm going to show you, sir, because I weighed close to 300 less than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And without the Mounjaro, this would not have happened.
There you go.
Take it off. Take it off.
Okay. So Whoopi is making an argument that RFK talking about the obesity problem in America and fat, whatever, that you're fat shaming people. Shame is healthy, lunatic. Yeah, shame can be healthy. I don't, what? And that some people are just bigger? Well, hang on there, Whoopi. Because you know what? And look, you've lost some weight, but whatever. Anyway, so her argument is that RFK Jr. wanting to make food healthier, and also one of the reasons Americans are so fat is probably because a lot of the different additives and the way food is, all the bad oils and sugars and whatever, the high fructose corn syrup that just help you retain fat a lot more and that you don't see in other countries. Even the bread we eat here, it's different. Like somebody was telling me that they were in Europe for like a month and they ate all the time, but they lost weight in Europe just because the food's different. Because there's a lot of things that are just not in European food. So anyway.
There you go. And I try to tell everybody, listen, this worked for me. This may work for y'all. You cannot take it out of people's hands if it can help. Because if we can keep people healthy, if we can get rid of diabetes.
What do you think his point is about food? The mental disconnect here is unbelievable.
We can get rid of all of the things cardiovascular. What's wrong with trying to do that?
Nothing.
You're wrong on this, R.
Also, the side effects are not horrible. But what does Kimberly Guilfoyle think of it? That's what I want to know.
And apparently he might be talking about using things like Ozempic and stuff to lose weight rather than just having, changing lifestyles and shit. Jimmy Das Hotep. Good morning, Jimmy Das Hotep, by the way. Who says, guilty of being fat, over 450, but took control and figured out what I needed to do for me, including cutting out all the garbage food. It's personal responsibility. Yeah, Jimmy Das Hotep's a great example of that. He showed me pictures, man. He's worked his ass off to get to where he is today. Look, the fat shaming. So that him talking about healthier food is fat shaming? Does she not know? By the way, his parody account, it's not actually him, but it says, health tip of the day, don't eat what Whoopi Goldberg eats. That's all. But when she said people are just born genetically larger, really? Really? This is what you looked like in Sister Act? Were you up over 300 pounds because you were genetically larger or just because you got rich and fat? Come on, Whoopi. Come on, that's just stupid. All right, let's keep going here. FDIC is trending, and, there's a whole lot. By the way, I've been noticing as we get closer and closer to Inauguration Day, people are trying to do constant negativity towards the President Trump by taking snippets and pieces and chunks of things he or people who are going to be in his cabinet say, and framing them in the most uncharitable way possible, saying, yes, it's going to be a disaster having Donald Trump as president. Okay. And I've seen this argument with people were talking about how, they want to cut Social Security, Medicare, and veterans benefits, blah, 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 because, for example, Elon Musk might have said, or Vivek, or one of them might have said something about how, these agencies, we need to figure out ways to cut their budgets. Okay, and so and cutting off the sentence there and leaving out the part where they say without reducing benefits, meaning cutting waste, cutting over too many people doing too little work, cutting the budget without cutting benefits. But they're saying, oh, they want to cut your Social Security, they want to cut the VA benefits, they want to cut Medicare. We told you so. They're not even in office yet. They're just talking about how are they going to create efficiencies to make things, cut the budget of the United States of America, which is what we need to do. So now, apparently, someone said something about Donald Trump wanting to shrink or eliminate bank regulators, that advisors asked potential nominees whether Trump should abolish the FDIC. Wait, what? So now everyone's talking about Donald Trump's going to eliminate the FDIC. All our money's going to be gone. We're going to steal all our money, and if your money's stolen, you're never going to get it back, blah, 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 blah. And it's just constant. It's this constant droning of, they talk about, when you mention cutting anything out of the United States budget, holy shit, the assholes come out of the woodwork. So this is eliminating the FDIC would bring us one step closer to ending the weaponization of the U.S. banking system and preventing Operation Choke Point from ever happening again. Yes, that would be a good thing. So that's a good idea. But here it is. Banks are regulated by the Fed, Treasury, FDIC, OCC, CFPB, Financial Sense, SEC, and DOJ. This is why it's so hard to tell who exactly is debanking you, much less have a due process. Yeah, see, here's the thing that they were talking about, Vivek Ramaswamy. Redundant agencies create inefficiency. Countless federal agencies cover the same turf, which creates confusion. SEC, CFTC, blah, blah, blah. Many of them regulate activities that are already regulated by states, e.g. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, while others still take money from states only to give it back to the states, like the Department of Education. This is nonsensical. Restructuring isn't an option. It's a necessity. Yes, exactly. Oh, our favorite count, 3-year Letterman says, not me, that guy, but redundant is Latin for efficient. You mean redoubted. And I'm sure somebody's like, this guy's stupid, because they don't know the account's a parody account. But anyway, so that's why the FDIC is trending. You can look at that tab. Also trending, Oshkosh. Now, not Oshkosh like Oshkosh B'gosh, the clothing company, or Oshkosh, Wisconsin, which, of course, wears Oshkosh Oshkosh B'gosh. And the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh is. But Oshkosh is apparently a vehicle company. And talk about how just how government does things that are really stupid. So I guess Oshkosh is a company that builds vehicles. It's another a company that builds vehicles, right? And apparently, a $10 billion program with a B to buy electric vehicles for the United States Postal Service is far behind schedule. With Oshkosh is a defense contractor. With defense contractor Oshkosh not disclosing significant manufacturing difficulties for more than a year, the United States Postal Service has received only 93 trucks, a $10 billion program, and they've received 93 trucks, far fewer than the 3,000 expected by now. So they're only like, what, 0.5% into the, how many they're supposed to have so far? Trump's transition team is considering canceling the contract to buy over 60,000 more of these all-electric United States Postal Service vehicles. So they were going to buy 60,000 of them, and that ends up being each one being $150,000 a piece. So here it is. Here's the article in the Washington Post. I'll put that in the links today too. Hang on a second. Let me make sure. I'm just going to copy it just so you can make sure you can read it. Oh my God, I'm not a fucking robot. Oh my gosh. Oh, traffic lights. Traffic lights. Is that it? Hopefully I got the right ones. All right, so here's the article in the Washington Post. The Postal Service electric mail trucks are way behind schedule. Defense contractor Oshkosh had only delivered 93 trucks by November compared to the 3,000 originally expected by now. The delays put Biden's climate goals at risk. I wonder if this is part of the infrastructure program. A multi-billion-dollar program to buy electric vehicles for the U.S. Postal Service is far behind its original schedule, plagued by manufacturing mishaps and supplier infighting that threaten a cornerstone of outgoing President Joe Biden's fight against climate change. The Postal Service is slated to purchase 60,000 next-generation delivery vehicles, or NGDVs, mostly electric, from defense contractor Oshkosh, which has a long history of producing military and heavy industrial vehicles, but not postal trucks, and not electric vehicles either. Congress provided $3 billion for the nearly $10 billion project, and in the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act, yes, the Inflation Reduction Act, which is buying electric vehicles for the Postal Service. Hello, Roasted Opinions. What's up? Let's see. Where was that? Inflation Reduction Act. Anyway, but as of November, the Postal Service has only received 93 of the Oshkosh trucks. The agency told the Washington Post, far fewer than the 3,000 expected by now. Okay, I already got that. So anyway, and here's the other part. Among the problems, engineers have struggled to calibrate the vehicle's airbags, including, according to two people familiar with the manufacturing process, when workers ran leak tests on the vehicle's bodies and internal components, water poured out as if their oversized windows had been left open in a storm, three people said. Currently, Oshkosh can produce just one truck per day at a South Carolina factory, according to, I don't want to read any more of this because it makes me sick to my stomach. That's the brilliant strategy, government people. And it is, these motherfuckers are ugly. Wait a minute, here's this one. So here's the one, that's one of the vehicles. And apparently there's another one that says, that thing is ugly, let's get more canoes instead. This looks like the future. Okay, so that's apparently a different company that makes them. This is typical government fuck up, if you ask me. So, moving on, recycling is trending because John Stossel has a great what do you call it? A video on recycling and how recycling is pretty much useless. And I'm not going to play it, but I highly encourage you watching the video. In fact, I will do this. I'm going to make it, let's make this a separate link instead of all right, we'll do this as a separate link so that you can easier find it. Just that video. If you're not familiar with John Stossel, everyone knows who John Stossel is, I think. But it's talking about how recycling is basically useless. Now, and it's funny because there's what's the movie we watched on Netflix the other night? Bill Maher did that already, the recycling thing. Yeah, I mean, you put things in recycling bin, and you don't know what can and cannot be recycled. In fact, there's a movie, I can't remember the name of the movie on Netflix we just watched, though, talking about how waste is a major problem in the world right now. But I highly recommend you watch this video. I'm gonna skip this though. Also, the Army Navy game's coming up, and normally I don't talk a lot about sports, but heads are exploding all over America because Daniel Penny, the guy who mistakenly ended the life of a guy threatening people on the subway and has been acquitted of murder and manslaughter charges. Apparently, he's accepted the Vice President-elect J.D. Vance's invitation to be his personal guest at the Army-Navy game on Saturday. Vance and Penny will join President-elect Donald Trump in his private suite during the game. Vance says, "I'm grateful he accepted my invitation and hope he's able to have fun and appreciate how much his fellow citizens admire his courage," which some people are very upset about. So that's interesting. Let's see if I want to find the negative ones on this one. Most of these people are cheering the idea. Where does Daniel Penny go to get his reputation back? To Trump's private suite at the Army-Navy game for starters. Thank you, J.D. Vance. Some people are saying that's cool. So anyway, that's why Army Navy game's trending. Now let's talk about drones real quick before I go, because that was the main topic, but I got carried away on a couple things. John Kirby, White House spokesman, kind of like a low-level Karine Jean-Pierre, or maybe he's I don't know what he is. He's the NSC coordinator, John Kirby, the National Security Council. I don't know. He came on and talked about the drones flying over random cities, and let's see. Let me find the longer one here. Let's try this. Well, here's John Kirby talking about drones.
To the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
Really? Okay, so he's saying that I wish I could find. I want the full statement. I don't want this 30-second thing. Hang on a second. Where's the full statement about this? Let me try this one. This one's a minute 3. We're gonna start. We're gonna do this one. Remember, these are like car-sized drones flying randomly over cities. Some of them in formations, and some of them been like, they look like they're, you know how they use the drones in China on celebrations. They make the big pictures out of them and shit like that. Some of them are flying around like that. Some are all over the city. Some of them may be mistakenly thought of as drones, like some near LaGuardia Airport. They think that maybe that people were just seeing planes in holding patterns, but whatever. Here's John Kirby.
Evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat.
Okay, so they're saying they do not pose a national security or public safety threat. Oh, so you know who's flying them? Is that what that means? So, but you're not telling us who's flying them?
Or have a foreign nexus.
Oh, they don't have a foreign nexus. So you know who's flying them, right? You can tell us who's flying these drones over random cities around the United States.
The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are investigating these sightings.
You're investigating them? Wait a minute. You just said they have no national security or whatever you just said.
And they're working closely with state and local law enforcement to provide resources using numerous detection methods to better understand their origin.
Wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. You just said there's no national security threat, but that would mean you would know their origins. What?
Using very sophisticated electronic detection technologies provided by federal authorities.
Okay.
We have not been able to, and neither have state or local law enforcement authorities, corroborate any of the reported visual sightings.
What? You haven't been able to corroborate the sightings? Oh, wait. They are not a national security threat or no danger to people, but you haven't been able to corroborate the sightings, and you're not sure who's flying them. Also, I think in one of these things he says some of them are manned aircraft. Oh, really? There's a bunch of people up there flying around in drone-like looking things, the size of Volkswagen Beetles.
To the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
Okay, so I'm thinking the ones around LaGuardia Airport where they think they're seeing drones. Like the one picture I saw, because they were light underneath them, like planes have lights when they're flying around in holding patterns. But that's not all of them, John. What the hell are you talking about?
The United States Coast Guard is providing support to the state of New Jersey and...
Why? Why? If there's no national security threat or danger to the public, why is the Coast Guard helping with these?
Has confirmed that there is no evidence of any foreign-based involvement from coastal vessels.
So there's no evidence of foreign-based involvement, but you know what? Does that just mean we don't know? Because if you don't know, then that would be no evidence of foreign involvement, because we just don't know. That means there's no evidence of it. But Where's the evidence? Are you looking for evidence of whether or not it's foreign-based involvement, or do you know where these are from?
And importantly, there are no reported or confirmed drone sightings in any restricted airspace.
Yeah, really? That makes me curious. So anyway, in the lots of people talking about the drones. There's all kinds of videos talking about them, and people want to know what the fuck's going on. But I think it's funny because some people are talking about, well, you know, the way you could find out about these drones, if someone just would happen to shoot one out of the sky, and then you find out who'd be looking for it. That would be a start. But they don't know. They don't know. But then they say there's no national security threat. I am very confused. I'm very, very confused. So, anyway, there's a few articles, and I have the aggregator up. Let's go to Friday Q&A, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the Morning Night Live Friday Q&A. All right, here we go. Thank you for doing the spacers, AD. I'm going to move. Okay, I'm not going to move that. Let's do Friday Q&A, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do Friday Q&A. Let me do this first real quick. I'll make sure I'm ready to do the links today. There, get rid of that. And get rid of that. And we'll be ready to share that as a web page. All right, we're good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday Q&A. And let's, the first question today is from our friend, Avocados Diabli, who says, have you ever woke up half naked except for a pair of lace panties, a Foot Locker's employee's ref jersey, and a Pirate's eye patch stuck in the slide of a children's playground? AD? I'm becoming concerned. I'm becoming concerned. I would love to hear that story though. Just out of curiosity, I don't know if I really want to hear that story, but yeah. No, I haven't. Lord Stanhope, if you were locked, I think you may have forgotten to finish that sentence. Maybe we'll see if it's down lower. Avocados Dahlia, so what exactly do you look for in an ice shack hooker? Is there any advice and or warning signs you would give to a neophyte? That means someone who is new to the subject. Well, it'd be, oh, by the way, good morning. Anon, 1, 2, 3, ice shack hookers. Look, AD, I think I've tried to establish this more than once, that first of all, I've only been ice fishing maybe 5 times in my entire life. And the first couple times I was like 10 years old, so that wasn't looking for no ice shack hookers. And the last few times was with well, just to say it was a family gathering. We had my wife's cousins have an ice fishing party, and there were no ice shack hookers. So I'm not that I'm not very versed in the detection of proper ice shack hookers. I would imagine it'd be very similar to regular hookers, except they probably wear boots instead of high heels because, you know, ice shacks on the ice, and probably be hard to walk on the ice in heels. So let's just start with the proper footwear, and then we'll go from there, okay? I'll try to make a list eventually, but yeah. Okay, Lord Stanhope asks, if I could never eat ice cream, this is not a question. This is just, you decided to put your statements over in the Q&A. Lord Stanhope says, I could never eat ice cream again after 2 girls, 1 cup. Speaking of cups, today's coffee is in the Great Lakes cup that I got in Michigan. No salt, no sharks, no worries. So there you go. Yeah, and if you're not familiar with 2 girls, 1 cup, don't do it. Just don't. Ew. Lord Stanhope says frozen custard greater than ice cream. Yeah, you know, in Wisconsin and Minnesota, like Culver's does frozen custard. frozen custard is just creamier. I think they put more egg yolk or something in it to make it super duper creamy. Yes, I love me some frozen custard. In fact, one of my favorite frozen custard places in the planet is in Milwaukee. There's a place called Kopp's, Kopps. They have we used to go there when I visited my friend in Milwaukee, and we just go for whatever the flavor of the day is. We get a flavor of the day, and it was delicious. And they have these giant burgers. They're like this big around, like as big as my face. Really good burgers at Kopp's. Lord Stanhope asks, this is still, okay. Lord Stanhope asks, I've been trying to chat, but it's been going into questions. Is boomerism contagious? Well, apparently, because I was wondering why you got that little down arrow, you got to go into live chat, and then it'd be chat instead of the questions. Okay, apparently it is. Lord Stanhope asks, if genital makeup were real, what percentage of it would be purchased by gay men? I'd say a full 93% of it probably, because I don't know. Now, if it were deodorants, that would be a different thing. Okay, Lord Stanhope asks, who did the best version in your opinion of the Reverend Mr. Black? I have no idea who that is. I don't know who the Reverend Mr. Black is. I'm sorry. I wish I could answer that question, but I cannot. Marty still skips questions. No, I'm not skipping questions. You have one question here that says, if you were locked, and that's the end of it. So maybe you should put that one at the end, because I have not skipped a question yet. I did that one. I did that one. I'm on the next one. And I don't know who Mr. Black is. What do you mean if it exists? Too much information, Some Noble Nation. That rhymed. Adam Diablo asks, has it ever occurred to you that you may have developed a saint fetish? Wow. It hasn't. I have to think about that now. Yeah, saint fetish. That's interesting. Lord Stanhope asks, how is it that Tom Selleck was the only person to ever wear those shorts and not be called gay? Well, okay. Lord Stanhope, back in those days, that was pretty normal for shorts. Shorts were really short. Like when I was a college cheerleader, the shorts were that short. Like coaching shorts were even that short. And then that evolved. It kind of evolved with basketball, because like when the Bulls started wearing the longer shorts in the NBA, and then all shorts began getting longer. That's just it. So everyone wore those shorts. Those were the norm back then. Jethro Hedo asks, are you prepared mentally for the integration of space aliens into Earth culture? Yeah, as long as they don't eat people, I'm cool with that. If they're constantly seeking human flesh to insatiate themselves, then I might have a problem. But as long as they're cool, in fact, there's some idea that perhaps humans are a mixture of DNA from these particular space creatures that could possibly be here. And they're probably watching us right now going, yeah, I'm not sure if they're ready for this shit. Anyway, so yeah, as long as humans aren't their food, yeah, it'd be all right. Avocados Diallo asks, would you rather have the Coyote X from Hardcastle and McCormick or the Ferrari 308 GTS from Magnum PI? That's a good question. I like that Ferrari. Although that Ferrari is shitty performance-wise, but it's a cool-looking car. Lord Stanhope asks, who's the hottest member of The View? Sadly, and I don't know why I say sadly, but Sunny's hot. Sunny's a very nice-looking woman, especially for her age, but I just can't stand her. I would say Sunny. Maybe. I don't know. It's not Whoopi and it's not Joy. The other three are okay. I don't know. Anybody but those two. Avocados Diablo asks, which host on The View do you think do butt stuff? What's the one who the dark-haired one who's always on the right side. She's the fake conservative. You know she does butt stuff. Lord Stanhope asks, if Sonny Hostin picked a fight with Sonny Corleone, who would win? Sonny Corleone will whoop that bitch's ass. Lord Stanhope asks, read the whole thing. There are bikini pics of Nancy Pelosi. Why? They're fake pictures, I think. I hope. I don't care. I don't want to know. Stop it. I feel like going crawling in a corner. Avocados Diabli asks, now that CEO killing is all the rage, what company are more, what? Let me try to say that again without laughing. Now that CEO killing is all the rage, what company's board are you calling dibs on? It's a company I really don't like. Oh, well, right now, Jaguar. Just saying. Lord Stanhope, coffee with Bailey's and Jameson, or hot chocolate with Carolan's and Sazerac. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Saz. Well, wait, Sazerac, that's a cocktail. I'd still go with the Bailey's and Jameson though. Yeah, I'd love me. That'd be kind of a Irish coffee. Avocado Diabli asks, what John Hughes movie would be best adapted into a musical with murderous zombies in it? Pretty in Pink. That definitely. Is that right? That's the John Hughes, right? The teen movies in the 80s. Is that John Hughes? I think it is. Yeah, Pretty in Pink. Lord Stanhope, does Don Lemon strike you as the type of person who first bleaches, then suntans his anus? Yes. Avocado Diabli, is Don just salty because he went up to the trouble of sexually assaulting some poor guy and he didn't even get an honorable mention for Person of the Year? Yes. Avocado, I'm sorry, Lord Stanhope, what's for dinner? I am actually I started thawing a beef roast, sirloin roast, and that should be ready to drop in the oven in a couple hours. Lord Stanhope asks, will you have a good weekend? I always have good weekends, although it's hard because this time of year I work 6 days a week, 10-hour days, and weekends I'm super tired, but I might go to our favorite burger joint tomorrow too. Oh no, I can't do that roast for dinner tonight because I'm gonna be sleeping until 10 o'clock. No, what's for dinner tonight? Just some like cheese and like hard salami and charcuterie stuff because I won't be eating dinner tonight. I forgot about that. I have that roast. That's for tomorrow. I'm gonna make the roast. Avocado Diabli, how many notes can you name that tune in? Usually 3 or less. Just, if I got good clues, usually in 3, sometimes 2. If the clue is obvious to me, I don't even need any fucking notes. Lord Stanhope asks, what's more humiliating? Don Lemon being fired from a job he didn't have in the first place, or an Instagram model being banned from Instagram? Oh, certainly Don Lemon being fired from a job he didn't have anyway. Oh, wait a minute. This thing flipped on me. Okay, there we go. Avocado Diabli asks, is there a subgenre of furrydom, that is apparently an actual word, where people dress up like corporate mascots? I'm certain there is. There's a fucking weirdo shit for everything. No offense, anybody, if you're into corporate mascot furrydom. Lord Stanhope asks, can you get a better gift than Trump being your president? Well, yeah, of course I can, but I'm happy with that one too. But there's all kinds of gifts that would be better than Trump being president. Large sums of money would be good. Lord Stanhope asks, which lineup of The View was the bottom of the barrel worst? Oh, it's funny because when Barbara and Rosie were on The View, anyone that involves Rosie O'Donnell, she is awful. But Joy Behar is just as bad. The current. Here's the thing. Even when I'm gonna take that back, because even when Rosie was on the show, Barbara Walters was kind of the voice of reason every once in a while, even though she didn't push back a lot on those hags. This current version with Whoopi, Joy, and Sonny saying stupid shit every fucking day, that is the worst iteration of The View. That is it. Lord Stanhope asks, would it be wrong to put Whoopi in one of those crooked nursing homes that they had on 60 Minutes? Wrong? Maybe? Desirable? Yeah. Avocado Stalby, does Whoopi not understand that I am not fat-shaming people? I am just entertaining myself in a dreadfully boring world. Yes, I don't. I think fat shaming is just fine. Lord Stanhope, eggnog delicious or disgusting? I love me some eggnog in severe moderation. As in, we will buy 1 quart of it a year, and we'll have eggnog 1 time a year, and then I'm done. Lord Stanhope, will you have a good weekend? Yes, I already answered that, but because I always do. Thank you, though. Lord Stanhope, is there a film that either mom or dad took you to as a kid that was a golden moment to watch with one of your kids and tear up thinking about watching with the grands? Mine is The Dark Crystal. You know, that's tough. The old Christmas movies like It's a Wonderful Life or even like The Wizard of Oz, that was something that my family did. Because, The Wizard of Oz would come on once a year, or It's a Wonderful Life, or, any of those movies like that. And we would watch them every year. And, or even something simple like Christmas Vacation. That was one that when it came out, we went to it in the movie theater, and my kids love that movie. Like, it's a tradition for my kids, and I'm looking forward to the day that it's a tradition with my grandkids too, because that'll be fun. That'll be just like when we do 3 generations watching Christmas Vacation at the same time. That'll be good. So any of those movies like that that you saw as a kid, but also the ones that were like on TV every year, Wizard of Oz. There's another one that's even The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, just that kind of stuff. That's just kind of a thing. Let's see. Lord Stan. Oh wait, Selected Boy asks. Oh wait, where are we at? Oh, here we go. Lord Stand-Up, how much you want to bet the drones are just Amazon, Walmart, Target just testing, working out issues with delivery systems? That could be. That would make sense. And especially the size of them, that would make sense. But if that were the case, why would the government not know about it? Why would they just be talking bullshit about them? I don't know. Okay, I got to go through these fast now, so I'm going to make this the rest of the lightning round. Selected Boy, if there was a match between Evander Holyfield and Tyson Fury, who would win? Both in their prime? Tyson Fury's a problem, man. I think he's a problem. He's so freaking big. And obviously he can get up after getting knocked down. I get knocked down and I get up again. Okay, so anyway. I'd say Tyson Fury. Lord Stand-Up, will you have a good weekend? And can you wish the lads a good weekend for me? Yes. Wait, the lads, which like the whole true Lord Stand-Up wishes everybody a good weekend. And that's the third time I've said I will have a good weekend. And I appreciate you asking every week. I do. Avocado Stiabli, becoming concerned. I can't remember what. Oh, I see. You filled that in. Select Boy, what was the weirdest question that someone ever asked you? Anything about self-repeating Frankenants? Because I just still haven't quite figured that out. Select Boy, do you have a name for your fist? I don't. I'll have to think of one. Ask me again next week. I'll try to have one. Avocados Diablo, the first time you went to an Ice Shack hooker was at the age of 10 on a family outing. Look, I know. I said not familiar with the Ice Shack hookers. I went ice fishing, not. Oh, good Lord, you and your Ice Shack hookers. Oh, and when you're going to realize your denials are meaningless. Oh, I see. That's I didn't read the rest of it. Avocados Diablo, as a follow-up to last week, where is the scuzziest place you have ever had a wank? No comment. I don't know. I was never. Never mind. I'm not going to go into that. No. Select Boy, if a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, would you be diabetic? Well, no, unless you're on unless you're on insulin. But that's just a shot. Avocados Diablo asks, if you are at a gas station and see someone putting coolant in the place oil is supposed to go, do you say anything or just follow them when they leave so you can see the end result? No, I'd be like, hey, no, whoa. I'd be like, hey, stop that shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. And finally, Avocados Diablo. Oh, by the way, this is the last question. Ladies and gentlemen, last question on Friday Q&A comes from Avocados Diablo, and that question is this the last question? Yes, it is. Thank you. All right, that's it, guys. Here are the links wait, let me get the links here. Copy. All right, here's today's links in the chat, and that's it. I got to go. Oops, that didn't work. Let's try that again. There we go. All right, there's today's links. I think I spelled links wrong, but I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I got to go. I don't want to be later than I already am. So thank you for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and I appreciate everything that you all do. I hope you have a lovely weekend. I will see you on Monday. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye. There's some extra articles in the links, by the way. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.